Hello, fellow pre-service teachers and teachers currently employed. My name is Logan Rutledge, and today I will be discussing ways in which you, as a teacher, can better engage with your students in brain-friendly ways. It is my belief that understanding how to incorporate brain-friendly learning into the classroom is a skill that more teachers should be utilizing within their lesson planning and teaching. The topics I will cover in this short video encompass a wide range of aspects of teaching, from neuroplasticity and student wellness to creating optimal learning environments and growth mindset. Let us begin. Firstly, it seems appropriate to explain what exactly I am talking about when referring to brain-friendly learning. In the simplest terms, brain-friendly learning is the idea of utilizing methods and techniques that use the natural abilities of the human brain, as opposed to setting work that is designed to test students' brain in ways that will only place stress and strain on them. Brain-friendly learning techniques are designed to make it easier for people to think and learn more naturally in comparison. This style of teaching is being seen more commonly within classrooms nowadays, and as such, I felt it natural to make this video in order to show some ways in which you can incorporate this style of teaching into your own classes. To begin, we will discuss social brain. The Social Brain is a 20-hour course free for all studying teachers that focuses on continuing the professional development of all teachers. One of the aspects of the course revolves around the idea of people having naturally low attention spans. At this point led me to looking deeper into ways that we, as teachers, could improve the low attention span of students in our classes. For one, I found that on average the attention span of teens aged 13 to 16 plus did not come close to the average length of class time, and as such, it became clear that we as teachers need to implement methods that are not only brain-friendly, but help lengthen attention span. I found from my personal experience that including physical activity into your lessons to be the best way to achieve both of these goals simultaneously. Maintaining student wellness is another important aspect of engaging with your class in brain-friendly ways. And very few people have a better understanding of this concept than Professor Ken Purnell. Professor Purnell has compiled a list of ways to maintain a wellness for students whose school term start dates have been heavily affected by the recent COVID-19 pandemic. And while this list is mainly targeting parents of students, I believe it still presents ideas that would be beneficial for teachers to incorporate into their teaching. The two best ideas that Professor Purnell presents being balance the brain and move it. Applying these two ideas into your teaching could be an excellent way to increase the amount of brain-friendly learning present in your class. Neuroplasticity is the concept of your brain being able to change and rewrite itself in response to the stimulation of learning and experience. This concept presents an interesting opportunity for teachers, as being able to enhance the process of neuroplasticity in your students is an excellent example of brain-friendly teaching methods, thus, once again, achieving both sides simultaneously. In terms of ways to enhance the process of neuroplasticity in your students, I would recommend following the ideas laid out by the online blog N2Y. These ideas, I believe, would be extremely beneficial for any teacher, old and new to the field, and mainly revolve around the idea of minimizing stress in the classroom, as stress is one of the key things that impede the process of neuroplasticity. This is done by teaching students stress minimizing techniques as well as preparing lessons that are engaging for all students and reducing any meaningless or extraneous noise in the classroom. Incorporating physical activity into your lesson is another idea presented by N2Y, and while I believe it is one of the best, I've already discussed it previously in this video. I can assure any teacher, old or new, that learning to enhance neuroplasticity within your students is an excellent way to engage with your students in brain-friendly ways. As I previously indicated, management of stress is an excellent way to ensure that the process of neuroplasticity is unimpeded. So you may be asking how one would best manage stress within a classroom. Especially now in a time where it seems that stress in the classroom is at an all-time high, with some studies finding that we have seen a massive jump from 25 to 56% of students reporting poor mental health as a result of stress in school. Because this is a problem, many online resources have posted ways to create environments that are relatively stress-free and manage stress in the classroom. And of these resources, I believe Teach Thoughts showing to be the best and most concise. The main point any teacher should take from this resource is the idea of creating a relaxed and safe learning space that promotes creativity. I believe to be one of the best ideas that any teacher can incorporate into their lesson planning. As in my experience, students, especially high schoolers, tend to respond better to classwork when they feel able to express themselves without the fear of being shut down. Thus, minimizing stress and engaging in once again, a brain-friendly way. Not to mention creating learning goals that are easy to understand for your students so that they are not stressing about whether or not they really understand the work set for them. No matter how you look at it, creating an optimal learning environment within your classroom is one of the best ways to utilize brain-friendly teaching. And while this is an important aspect, much of the things I can say on this I've already covered in great detail earlier in this video. As such, I will not dwell too long on this part. However, I can say that in terms of resources that sum up this topic best, there are a few that come close to the level of conciseness achieved by the education and early childhood development of Newfoundland Labrador. A link to this PDF can be found in the references of my paper response. Finally, growth mindsets are, without a doubt, one of the best things to instill within your students. The idea of a growth mindset is simple. As opposed to a fixed mindset where one believes that their intelligence is static and will always remain at the same level regardless of what they do. A growth mindset is when one believes that they are able to grow their intelligence through experience and further learning. Of these two, I believe most teachers would agree that the latter is much more desirable to have in students in comparison to the former. And as such, it would be in our best interest to instill this type of mindset into every one of our students. But how do we do such a thing, you may ask? Once again, I turn to the expert. Dr. Caroline Dweck, a Stanford University professor, has provided us a wide variety of tips that will instill this mindset into students. From encouraging goal-based journaling during class time to implementing more diverse teaching techniques, every one of her tips provide helpful insight into the mind of students and is an excellent example of the type of teaching that best embodies the idea of brain-friendly learning, engaging with your students in brain-friendly ways. I hope that you have taken away something useful from this video and that you are able to apply anything that you have learned in the last 8 minutes into your own classroom in the future. All of the resources that I mentioned in this video can be found in my paper in the reference section.